And so I find myself asking once again, sync, first to start the damn recording, but second, whether I've actually loaded the correct save file. I have! Yes! Hello everybody! I'm always so terrified. Okay, so I test played again further forward, and I'm always terrified that I'm going to accidentally save over my regular file. Like, anyone who watched my Grimrock stuff just knows the issues I had there. Now, I do know where the final grave is. It's actually not on the way to the research base. It's, like, I can see where it is right now. It's over there next to that rock. However, we're actually incapable of going back right now. The game's like not designed in that way. It's kind of weird. If I try and go on that zip line, you cannot get off of that zip line and survive at that bit of the cliff. It's really stupid. So we have to wait until we return to the beach. It's not a big problem. It's just one grave, and then we'll have 100% on that zone. But instead, we're going to make some further progress to going up to the research base, which is the final, like, don't want to say traditional, not really. It's the final normal, like, chapter of the game where you go to a new area in which you can, like, get a measure of completion in, right? So we're going to be getting 100% in the research base. It's really easy to get in there, frankly. The challenge is pretty cool, but it's not, you know, anything worse than the posters, for example. And this, of course, means that aside from that one grave back there, we basically have got, in terms of collectibles, 100% in the game, and everything else remaining to be acquired comes from simply playing the story. Which is quite cool, actually. It's a bit of a load-off, I tend to find. As soon as, like, we get past this point, like, there's still a significant amount of the game left. I'm sort of predicting next episode could be the final episode. And if not, then it will, like, be 2 episodes after this, and then we're done. So there is still a significant amount, given the length of these videos, there's a significant amount of the game left to find. Thank God I made that. And then this falls to scare you, but if you keep jumping, you'll be fine. There's a significant amount left to play, but none of that will involve going for collectibles or stopping every 2 seconds to look around to make sure that you haven't missed anything. And yeah, it's a load off. I quite like it. I do enjoy collectibles in games, and I like this idea of being able to go back to areas and find stuff. What I like the least are collectibles that can be permanently missed. But then, at the same time, one of my favourite, like, game franchises of all time, really, has to be the Final Fantasy series, which just does this in copious amounts. But this game, I do feel like if you're going to do collectibles and stuff, it's nice to give the player breaks from that and, you know, clear, well-established breaks from it, which I think this game does quite well. So, anyway, enough rambling. This is actually the base here.
What the hell are we doing here? This fucking Oni in that tomb?
Calm down. We got orders from the man. No one goes in or out.
They kill anything that sets foot in there.
You been listening to the OMS crew?
Yeah, they said some guys went in there on a salvage job and never came out.
They're fucking with you, brother. Those bozos like to make shit up. Don't believe any of them.
They're fucking with you, brother! Oh my god, wow. Oh, I don't even have to do this. I can just assassinate them, can't I? I believe I can. Yeah, so this chapter has the potential, he leans so casually against that there, had the potential to be kind of scary. The Oni, so there were this element of the plot. You know, these big-ass monsters, scary things. We had that whole section quite a while ago now, it feels, where they established that there are these terrible beasts, creatures, ghost-type things on this island, and we've just had no further interaction with them whatsoever. And now we're in an abandoned World War II research base that claims to have tapped into the secrets of the island. And that sounded very much like a Lost thing. Oh, I was so close to watching Lost the other day, guys. You have no idea. Claims to have tapped into the secrets of the island. And these guys are saying that there are Oni here. Don't forget what we saw last episode, where the dudes were explaining that they'd been recalled here because they thought that we might come, and indeed we have come. Because we're looking for answers. And we're going to hear from another goon as well later that Matthias just really doesn't want us to find out whatever's here. And that's why he's sending people here, despite the fact that there are the Oni. The Oni who are clearly, they're like a third party here. They're a third party. Or as we're going to find out by the end of this video, a fourth party. They're like a third party because they don't like the Solari. So we're one party, the Solari are another. And then you've got the Oni. And then, the other reason why this episode is going to be quite an interesting one is because the conclusion of the GPS caches will be contained herein. GPS caches that we've been collecting the whole way through this game so far. These mysterious objects that don't seem to have any connection to anything really, but they're just there. we're going to have answers to that this episode. It's all going to, because that we get the final collectibles here. So anyway, we'll use the Ascender to break into the research base, and this always seemed really scary to me. The amount of force that Lara would have to be holding that to break that open, and just all this rubble come flying at her face, and the only way to avoid it is to crouch in the corner or be smacked and fall backwards over a pit of doom with barbed wire at the bottom. Yeah, it seems pretty crazy. I do want to mention some stuff. We're going to eventually leave this area by traveling around down there, so don't forget about that all the way down there. Why did that just go red as if I could shoot someone? There are enemies down there, but that's like a long way away. So anyway, we'll do that later. And something else I'd like to mention too, you can see that again someone else seems to have been marking off their days on the island with a bunch of melted candles and stuff here. An old turret, a big gun. I love the idea of this thing too that's like been blown out at the front of the barrel here. I love the idea that like at one point this was an actual scene of the, you know, the Allies versus the Axis powers in World War II actually having air battles here. Like we've seen all the wrecks of the planes and stuff, so it would happen. Like this is a real kind of D-Day battle scene here, which is pretty crazy. Also, again, fantastic. I can't get enough of the draw distance in this game. Look at that. You can see the goddamn endurance from where we are, and that's our camp just over there. And that's in fact the next notable thing I want to point out to you guys. I'm going to try and keep the pace up here. As we round this corner, we actually have the research base interior just through here. Okay, we walk down that tunnel and we're in the research base. Technically, we're still on Shipwreck Beach right now. And what I find phenomenal about this game is we can trigger survival instincts here and see relics in the research base. Can you see that document down there? So we can see relics in one zone and at the same time turn around and see the endurance of a zone on the complete other side of the island at the same moment. I mean, look at this. We can see like those things in the water we were playing around with last episode that I ended up cutting a little bit of the footage out there. But we can see those. We can see it's crazy to me. And then like you can zoom out of the main map. What we're seeing here is this bit of the research base and the endurance. Like this is our line of sight. It's pretty crazy. It's also a little bit of immersion breaking, I suppose, because it makes the island feel a lot smaller, especially when you consider that this is supposed to be a mountain, but hey, still. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go into the base. And probably the ambient volumes on this video will be up a little bit, just to scare you guys a bit, because it is quite an ambient chapter. And we have no choice but to drop down this hole that we won't be able to climb back out, where there have been sightings of Oni in here. Wonderful. We get a load of water splashed on our face in this kind of swampy, muddy water. If you're going for 100% though, don't just mindlessly walk off. Behind you, there aren't too many of these, but there is another one of these walls. It's not a shotgunnable one. It's one of the machine gun ones where you have to actually grenade it. So be sure to step back, drop your grenade, blow your way through. And you actually find a hidden salvage crate, and that might seem, oh, that's a cool little thing. It's actually a secret within a secret. I always like stuff like this. You can grab the salvage crate, but if you cunningly look up, there's another one to blow open. And voila, this is actually that relic I was showing you guys earlier in the box. So, and the game, if you don't find this, it will tease you later and you'll be able to look through that crack in the wall. It's pretty funny.
Were these gifts for the ancient rulers of Yamatai? Or was there some kind of battle here?
Yes, so it's going to be helmets here. There's only actually two. But if you think about the way that the... Sorry, I was drinking some water there. If you think about the way that the Oni are designed in particular, I think it's not too far to think, hey, maybe these are the kind of things that the Oni themselves wear. The much more obvious collectible, of course, is the GPS cache. The research base, it's got stuff to do, but it's not necessarily over a large span of area. So actually, just by popping survival instincts with that upgrade we acquired a while ago, where you can see stuff through walls, you'll actually mark 99% of the stuff on your map very quickly. There's a little bit of free experience here too. And actually, between this episode and the next episode, I might find I have to leave and just grind for some salvage, because we're gonna be at the point by the end of this episode where we've got like that. So there's that hole we can look through, where we've got pretty much maximum upgrades for all of our weapons, and we're gonna need a lot of salvage to, you know, fully upgrade them beyond that. So the challenge for this area, the first part of the challenge is here. I'm actually going to use my bow to conserve some ammo here. That sounds like a hint, doesn't it? The challenge is to destroy these like sun trinkets that are hanging everywhere. So the challenge is called Sun Killer, and there are 5 of them in the base. It's a pretty cool challenge. I had a lot of fun finding them all on my first time through here. It really makes you look so carefully at every little detail in this area.
Look at all those bodies. Keep it down. The Oni are here. Yeah. You want them to find us? Just shut up. Keep your eyes open for the girl.
So yeah, there are Solari in here. Now, I find this place kind of interesting because they give you a pickup while you're like tense because you know there are enemies and potentially Oni in the vicinity. And then it gives you a pickup. No, I'm actually going to deal with these guys first. Very simple to just stealth kill these two. I find this game is rather easy when you're just wandering around because there's always the opportunity to stealth and pick off Solari. But then they put you in scenes where you have to fight and it's like hold off for a while. And those are insanely difficult in hard mode. It's really weird. So anyway, we can look through this room and yeah, there are a load of bodies of the researchers that were working in this base that have been strung up and hung upside down, and now their corpses are just decomposing. That room in particular looks really interesting to me. It's quite big and got lots of stuff going on in it. You can't actually get fully into that room, which is interesting. But yeah, it kind of sets the scene. Not very good looking in this area. Now the Solari are dead too. And in a way, we're kind of more deadly than the Oni right now, because we've killed a lot more Solari in this base so far, as it would seem. Anyway, look, we've got this document here.
Soon after we discovered the tomb, they came. The Oni. First, the lights went out. Then the screaming started. Was it us or them? That horrible sound. It still rings in my head. They wore the armor of my ancestors. They cut us down with ancient blades. Gunfire, shouting, blood. We couldn't stop them. Everything turned to chaos. And then silence. They were gone. Why did they leave? Why didn't they kill us all? Captain Osaka is in command now. We are leaving the base, but not the island. We're heading inland, to the monastery. There's no other way. We must follow the Oni, all of us. If we can't control the star, we must destroy it. But I know. We're all going to die.
So there's actually a lot you can read into this, and this is just my speculation. The game will never give us more elaboration here. First of all, this is the very first document we ever read was from this soldier, if you remember. Maybe it wasn't in the Let's Play, but that was definitely on my first time playing through the game. This guy out in the original forest, you remember the first time we even heard of the Oni? That was this soldier. So this guy, his story is he was at this research base. They believed they could control the storm. Whatever they did to try and control the storm seemed to have just invoked the wrath of the Oni, who came and just slaughtered everyone here. And this is his realization that they cannot control the storm, and instead they must head inland to destroy whatever is causing all this stuff. Inland to where the Oni are coming from. We must follow the Oni, all of us. If we can't control the star, we must destroy it. And I like the idea that maybe the timeline of this guy is this happened first, and then as he was heading inland, that's when we got that other document in the first area of the game. Really cool. Soldier awakening, the same soldier. Again, he mentions the Oni. Could it be that thing I saw in the monastery? That thing. We saw loads of them. But yes, so, that's a pretty cool document. I quite like the kind of stuff that you can draw from that. We do have a campfire here, but I'm not really interested in having a look at it just yet. There is this door. Do not ignore this door. This will get you a GPS cache and 2 potentially sun relics. One of them is right here. Up at the top, my camera's being really weird. One mechanic I've never played with in this LP is the idea of swapping the side that you can look. If you see all the way over there, it will be easier to see with survival instincts. But over there in the distance, especially on YouTube, you're probably going to be able to see. There is another relic. This is the hardest one. This one is really well hidden. It's in that big room that you can't actually gain access to. The only way you can get a shot for that is to wrench open this door and look carefully. And the main problem with that is there's a big temptation for players to just jump straight at this window. And yeah, you might think, oh, it's right in your face, but it's really not. It's quite hard to see it back there. But by doing such a thing, you will get some salvage and a GPS cache right there. So plenty of pickups from actually acknowledging that door's existence instead of just, and that's the other thing, right? I mean, the Solari are there, and you're kind of bloodthirsty at that point. Maybe you get the document and then you go to kill the Solari and just move on, and you can miss that stuff. That's really the one bit that will catch you out in this whole zone. I feel like I might have missed something, but I probably haven't. This wouldn't be an LP of mine if I wasn't going for 100% and I wasn't 100% sure on whether I'd got everything. So there is still some power in the base. We can open this, and actually we get to like the puzzle section of this region.
The tomb must be in the lower levels.
This research base was built on the tomb of the general, and they were researching this. She surmises that it was low down, so we want to go low down. There is this elevator here, but the elevator's busted.
That's where I need to go.
And this door is locked. That light is really weird, that spotlight that's lit there, because when you finally get through the area, that's just smashed and broken. So it's kind of cool to acknowledge it's there right now. So yeah, basically we need to find a way through that door, and Lara's idea is to smash through this iron we're currently stood on, because you can see it's kind of weak and it gives a bit. Actually, I didn't even know that happened. That's really cool. And there's an elevator above, so her idea is like slam the elevator down on it. So once she realizes it's broke.
The elevator is jammed.
So we just decide to destroy everything. The mechanics of this puzzle are we're going to come to each of the 4 cogs in the corners and break them off, which might sound simple, but there's not always a point of access. So like it was very simple for this first one.
I'm on the right track. I just need to figure out a way to drop the elevator with more force.
But like there's no point of access here. It's behind more of that like grating, right? So, and then the same for the other corners. So we need to move the lift to different levels to where the access points are at every time. And there is a super efficient way you can do this. I will try to be that super efficient guy, but hey, we'll see. So that door's locked at the moment, but now that the elevator's down, we can climb up and over and then break it open from the other side. Again, it's a cool little tunnel. I'm so curious how people design just puzzles like this. They come up with a concept. Okay, we're going to have an elevator puzzle. Sure. And then what? Like, I'm not a smart enough man to then be able to, like, design something really intricate like this. The closest I ever got, I used to really like making puzzles and, like, trick rooms in Minecraft. I used to love doing that. That was my favorite thing. Like, it wasn't enough for me to build a house that looked cool, because everybody does that. Everybody spends ages building cathedrals and crap. My houses always had, like, loads of secret rooms and redstone circuitry and water puzzles and stuff interwoven through the walls, because I used to build, like, my places into mountains and stuff. And that's kind of what I did, but that's the closest I've ever come to making puzzles. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to read this document.
Command to operative. Stop. Trinity is concerned. Stop. Acquisition of star phenomenon unacceptable. Stop. Sabotage of access operation imperative. Stop.
Okay, this is probably the weirdest document that we've had so far, and for very good reason. Lara says, was there some... First of all, she describes it as mysterious orders, and she says, was there some other person or group interested in this island? I don't have time to make sense of this now. So this zone, if you're the 100% player, this zone is where you get the final GPS cache and a big secret for the game. But at the same time, even if you're not that 100% player, they do just add a regular document here as well for you to find and get a small hint that maybe something more is going on, and potentially therefore some incentive to find more of the GPS caches. And you might be thinking, well, wooden potatoes, what are you talking about? How is this related to GPS caches? Look at what it's called. This is the document viewer. This is one of 2 GPS secrets found. So this has got to do with the GPS caches. Something to do with another party. The Solari, us, the Oni, and now someone else. Commander Operative Trinity is concerned. Trinity, what is this word? Acquisition of star phenomenon. Don't forget this is what the World War II people were looking into. The star, that's what they keep mentioning. The acquisition of it they deem is unacceptable. Instead, back when the Axis were working here at this research base, this other faction were deliberately sabotaging them. So even from way back in World War II's time, there were at least 2 different factions operating on this island. The researchers that we're well familiar with, but also another organisation that were being underhanded about them, and potentially even had a worker right under their nose. Really cool. So yeah, and we're going to learn more about this very soon. So anyway, Lara doesn't have time to make sense of it, and as you can see, there's one more undiscovered secret. This is this you can only get by having all GPS caches in the game. Right. So where are we going to head to now? We're going to actually go. Do I hit the button first? I may hit the button. Yeah. All right. So one general thing with this puzzle, okay, is we're going to keep moving. So like by moving the elevator up right now. Come on. Cool, it's really awkward letting me push this button. Come on. Yes, I know, Lara, don't worry. So we're actually going to move the elevator up here and go back down a floor. Because now that the elevator is on floor 2, it will conveniently move one of the wheels. If we go to like one of these middling levels. That's not right. That's not right. Come on, I do know it is something that we do here. Maybe it's... Is it going up that ladder, potentially? Like, I completed this pretty smoothly last time I played. Okay, maybe it's not going up that ladder. Maybe there is nothing on floor 2. So instead we're going to keep climbing up. Yeah, there's that thing. I'll release that in a second. We're going to call the lift to this floor. I'm sure I've just missed something. Yeah, I know I've just missed something. There is a point of access that I'm just completely neglecting here at the moment. But don't worry about it. So we're going to come back around, and there was that ladder, if you guys remember, up here. So now that it's on the top floor, if we climb up, the ladder will give us access to this thingy-mabobby here. So that's the second of 4. Yep, don't worry, Lara. They give you a lot of like bits of dialogue to help the player realize that they're not doing anything wrong right now. Also, this is a big elevator shaft, and one of the sort of nuisances with this puzzle at the best of times is like you could be looking for the challenges and stuff, like looking for these little sun relics, and that sort of makes things a little bit more complicated. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to call it back down. Trust me, there is rhyme to this reason. We're going to take our shotgun and shoot that out up there, cunningly hidden. Then can you see that there's that thing we can grapple on? We're actually going to climb all the way back up, call the lift again, but as it's raising, this is the most difficult one, which is how I know that I've missed one. As it's raising up, we're going to drop down, hang, descend, and don't be scared to do that. It looks like a big drop, but you won't have much time if you try and wait too long. And then we're going to jump over and grapple onto this wall. This is the only way we can get here. There's convenient, like, wiring, well, not wiring, metal, like, grating and stuff, stopping you from getting in any other way. And actually, all we're going to do is use our pick to just climb along, grab this salvage crate, and this is the most difficult one to find. Which means the other one...
Okay, just one more to go.
Is... somewhere, basically. It's lower down, I'm sure. It's not on floor... Is it when you call it to floor 3? Because I haven't actually had any access points just here. Where could it potentially be? If the elevator's on floor 3, then the wheels are going to be just a little bit lower. Oh, here we go. Did I get... No, clearly I didn't get this one because it's salvage. Yeah, this one's really basic. You just climb up at that bit there. There we go. And by doing this, we'll break the lift down. We'll destroy that bit of metal at the bottom. I need better words to describe all this metal meshing. And it will fall through, giving us access.
I think that did the trick.
Indeed it did, Lara. Sweet. So, now we can get the final pickups of the game. Are you guys ready? It's really quite simple. There's not even any enemies to fight here. Oh my god, there are enemies! Oh! No, don't worry.
Hello? Hey, anyone there? Man, fuck this place. What the hell am I even doing here?
I'm such an idiot. I genuinely thought there were no enemies. I was just pissing about. And then, no, there turns out to be. So if you actually stand back from this... Last time I was playing, I was able to score headshots on them through that grate, and it was, like, beautiful. But this time I can't, so that sucks. Anyway, I think he's patrolling towards us. He's stopped just there. You can get really two really nice little headshots here. If you're careful. Ah, that didn't work. Alright, well, we'll kill that guy. The other one will probably see the body and then come along and look around. He might spot us, but the odds are that he won't. I could actually shoot out of the light. Wouldn't that be cool? Splinter stealth style. Oh, you're in the darkness now, sucker.
What the hell?
You see, like... they rarely give, like... Oh, no. Oh, what? Oh, there we go. I thought I'd missed that. See, they're rarely... In these areas where you can just pick them off, they rarely give them armor and stuff. So, like, it's so easy. And then you come to the other sections, which is just so hard. Anyway, right. Final 2 pickups are right here. One is behind this. And one was just around over here. Both are on the right as you come out of the elevator. So, that's fine. There you go. That's the final challenge done. Sunkiller. Challenges, I don't know. I wish they were a little bit more rewarding. But you know, they're unique to the other stuff because they don't appear on maps and they give you, you know, experience rather than anything else. So, we're done with that. And now, we've got a treasure map. Funnily enough, the last pickup I ever got on my first playthrough of this game was a treasure map for a zone I'd already done. So let's get the treasure map early this time, shall we? Which is just over this crate. Really unnecessary. If you've, I mean, it's one of these weird things that the players that have been going for 100% up to this point are probably the only ones that care about that map in the first place. And those are the characters that have probably already unlocked the survival instincts things that makes that completely useless at the same time, you know? The players that don't have enough experience to have got that perk are probably the same players that just rushed through and didn't care about 100% completion anyway. So it's just odd. Anyway, that's probably the most useless map in the game, but they put it there just for convenience sake. Maybe it helps someone out. I'm actually going to ignore that pickup over there because that's the last GPS cache just there. Instead, we're going to pick up this here, which is a relic, the last relic, the second helmet.
Another Chow Dynasty helmet. The elaborate decorative designs suggest royalty.
Yep, and there is no extra hidden information to be had. But there we go. So if we have a look at our map completion now, it should read that we need one document, which is a story document, and one GPS cache, which we're about to get. So, I was going to establish something. Yes, so because this is like the last secret in the game, I'm not sure whether it's because of the last GPS cache or just the last pickup in general. But for those not familiar with the Tomb Raider franchise, previous games, particularly the first generation of Tomb Raider games, they were very pickup heavy. Oh, excuse me. They were very pickup heavy, and every time Lara found something, be it a key or a secret, well, okay. Whenever she found something, she would go, aha! You know that noise that I've been making fun of every time she finds a chest in this game in a secret tomb? The ah thing. Well, in the original game, she'd go, aha, right? In a very specific soundbite. It's actually, as a bit of an egg for us, it's going to play that soundbite for us. At the same time, in the original generation of games, it used to play a very, very specific chime noise as well when you found a secret. And as sort of a nod to that, the developers, when you find the final pickup, or at least the final GPS cache, it's always been the same thing for me when playing through this game, they actually give us that. So we're going to have that, and then we're going to have the significant story too. So I wanted to establish at least the one thing before I then go off into this huge tirade about the second thing. So, prepare your anuses.
Aha! There's a note inside.
Yeah, that was it. And we actually get to manually go and read the note too. It doesn't just throw it up at us. So this is like the one time in the game where, unless you want to review stuff that you've picked up, you actually have to manually go over to a document. And we can have a look at our progress while we're at it. Look, we've got most ancient scrolls. We're about to get another one located in the research base. That's the final one. We've got most things from the endurance officers. Why don't I have that last one? I'm pretty sure on my other playthrough just a second ago I did have that last one. Did I miss one in it? Why would it? No endurance officers would have been here. Pretty sure we should have that. I'll have a look in a second. Lara's journals, all except 2. These sort of mark progress through the game, which is pretty cool. Confessions of a Solara, we've got all of those now. Diaries of a Madman, we got all of these quite early, so, you know, our nemesis was pretty clear-cut and defined quite early in this game, Matthias. Wartime Intelligence, just one left to find. Again, a part of the story. Endurance Crew is the one that I finished. And GPS Secrets. Here we go. So we had the mysterious orders earlier. Let me just quickly read that for you guys again. Command to Operative. Trinity is concerned. Acquisition of Star Phenomenon unacceptable. Sabotage of Axis Operation imperative. And lastly, failed mission. Oh, actually, for some reason, guys, it doesn't seem to be playing the audio. And I'm pretty sure it does have audio. So let me try that again.
I was sent here to investigate a new threat to Trinity's interests on this island. When I arrived, I discovered Matthias and his Solari cult. I believed then that Matthias could never acquire the Star Phenomenon. But I was wrong. I should have killed him when I had a chance. But now it's too late. I've been compromised and mortally wounded. My mission, incomplete. My time is short. If you've deciphered the numbers and found this stash, then you must be my replacement. Kill Matthias. He's close to reawakening the enemy that has long lain dormant. This cannot be allowed to happen.
So, Lara says, that name again. Trinity! Some kind of organization, but who are they and how do they know about this island? Yeah, Trinity is another organization that knew about this. Obviously have some interests in the supernatural. This one will be even more clear and I can go into more discussion about it as we go through the credits, basically. But yeah, there's this Trinity organization too. Came to this island. This seems to be something that really very much sets up extra stuff within this universe. You know, the idea of sequels and things that Lara will eventually be going and dealing with. And they knew about Matthias but just sort of didn't deal with him, and then he deemed it was too late. He's been compromised and mortally wounded, so he actually He says, this guy is the guy that laid the GPS caches down, as far as it would seem. And what I find curious too is, like, we're getting GPS caches, so the idea really should be, shouldn't it, that, like, they're leading to a location, right? Maybe, or maybe not necessarily. I mean, what was in each cache? That's the question. Was it just a tiny fragment of that entire document that we eventually got to read? Or was it meant to eventually lead somewhere? It's curious. Anyway, so there's that guy, and Trinity. This is why I say that maybe the Oni are a fourth party, because we've got Trinity. Trinity is the fourth party even. And so the plot thickens.
All right, this is it.
But Lara doesn't have time to be dealing with that right now. She's just entered the General's tomb, and here we're going to get a pretty big revelation.
These figures, warriors, they're in Himiko's tomb. They protected her. And is this you? Were you some kind of general? You committed seppuku. But why?
I like here, by the way, she pulls this sword out after obviously researchers... I bring it on myself. Studying this area, and they didn't deem it important enough to remove that. Yet Lara feels like it's okay too. I love that. And she's rewarded for it. To be fair.
I have failed, my queen. The ritual was corrupted. The priestess knew only death could save her and took her own life. Now the first and last queen lives a half-life, a soul in a decaying body. Her rage became the storms and will not stop while her soul is tied to this earth. My storm guard are sworn to protect her. They must continue, but I cannot.
The soul is trapped in a decaying body. That's what's causing the storms. To stop the storms, we need to destroy the body in the ritual chamber. How the hell am I going to convince the others?
So here's the idea. I'm going to pause it. Here's the Queen's soul still persists in this area, and this is why Matthias is preaching to it and you know, believes in this stuff. And remember the general. Remember that note I was talking about? How the general would, if his queen died, his life was forfeit. What happened, we don't know, but that's the general idea right now. Okay, here we go. Sudden combat music and urgency. Oh my god, let's go, let's go, let's go.
She's in the old tomb.
Shit! I've got to get out of here.
Immediately get your machine gun out, destroy these barrels, turn your volume down if you're Let's Playing so that people don't hear crazy echo, and just start shooting these guys as soon as you can. Kill them. Actually, what I did here wasn't very good. It wasn't as good as my previous run. I didn't even kill any of them. Oh no, this was not good. Alright, well there's one down. And yeah, this is, you know, I've been talking about, you know, these certain sequences here that suddenly get rock solid, incredibly difficult during this this area, during hard mode, sorry. And yeah, this is why, because I was struggling on this on my test run. And not that it should be easy when you're playing on hard mode, but it's kind of frustrating. I don't know what I think about this. Anyway, well, that's me dead, and I was trying to get into cover. Brilliant. There we go, he's down. This is good. I think I'm probably at the first checkpoint. Oh yeah, wow, did I do it? No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it because there's that guy over there. Alright, once they get down with the level, you will see the Solari have, like, proper swords and stuff now. So if any of them get the opportunity to run at you in melee, yeah, it can be pretty deadly because they're really good in melee combat now. The other problem here, of course, still is that I have, like, low ammo too. But basically, what I'm going to do is just hide in this side of the room because they, in large, come from the other one. But if you're going to follow my tactic, be aware that behind the stairs... I could really use a grenade right now. There we go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh, that was nice. That was really rewarding to see that. No, 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 no. Ah. be aware that they can come around behind the stairs there, and that's sort of how you can get flanked and totally screwed. Right, as long as the sword guy's out, I'm okay. Sort of with the shotgun. And if you equip your incendiary bullets as well. Like, I'm not sure why you wouldn't want those. Oh, the targeting system broke. The targeting system broke! There we go. You don't get to kill me. I think maybe they're just better for destroying armor, but honestly, I have no idea. I'm sure we learned when we upgraded it, but it's so easy to just spam upgrades instead of anything else that, like, some of this stuff I'm not even sure what it's doing at the moment. Right, well, that's the next guy dead. Just keep an eye on both angles that they can shoot you from. There, like you. For some reason, this reminds me of fighting in Shantytown, where we backed ourselves into that corner just before Grim died. Oh, man. It sucks. I don't know. Oh, my God. If you saw my eventual completion of that, oh, my God. And every time I failed, it was because the last guy was, like, a big machine gun guy that I would just pump full of shotgun stuff, but he'd never, like, get recoiled by it. And then he'd just shoot me and just instantly kill me. Man, wow, how punishing. And then this time, it just felt like a complete cheat, me completing it, because, like, the AI just seemed, like, really buggy. But whatever. So... that is, that's like the big encounter, and that's the only one really that I have to endure my way through on this particular episode. We now have our plan. We just got to get out, and in true Tomb Raider style, we enter a tomb by one way, and then our enemy faction comes along and means we have to leave it in another way. We got plenty of time to get through that tiny little sequence there. I'd love to see who dies there. Like, that sequence is so easy, and it's such like an odd random little thing. It's like, to have got this far in the game and then just to randomly die at a tiny little pitfall like that would be pretty funny. But yeah, as you can see, we're quite obviously in a loading screen corridor thing. We're going back into the regular world. Do you remember towards the start of this video, I pointed out another area on the exterior of the research base where I said we would be going later? Well, that's where we are now. Also, don't forget in that cutscene, I was going to mention this earlier, don't forget in that cutscene, our radio was being kind of staticky for some reason. Maybe you picked up on that. That's supposed to be kind of ominous for something that's coming up.
Lab, where the hell are you?
Oh no, what's happening?
We're under attack! We need help!
Damn it, no! I've got to get
So those guys were getting attacked, and I guess the idea is while we were in the tomb, they were trying to contact us. You know, it's very subtle, but I quite like it. They were trying to contact us, and they couldn't. Oh, come on, I was close. Okay, maybe I wasn't close enough to it. Never mind. Yeah, you know, it's quite subtle, but I like that idea that, you know, some players could have... I certainly didn't pick that up until I was replaying the game.
Oh, shit. Fucking choice we have. Those outsiders hold up on the beach. Why aren't we going there? Father Matthias doesn't want anyone poking around this old base. But what about the Oni? Calm down. We should be okay out here. Once we find the woman and kill her, join the others and attack the beach.
We certainly didn't see any Oni. Oh, come on. That was so obviously in the head. We didn't see any Oni while we were in there, did we? I was kind of like throwing you guys off a little bit. Or maybe the game was.
What the hell?
See, this guy will see that dude's body and then creep along to the one spot where you can shoot him in the head. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see a friend get sniped, don't, like, stand exactly where he was. Oh, my God, I messed that up because I'm talking to you. Oh, no, he's going to see me. There we go. Don't ever do that. Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you...
Watch out! On the pier! Oh, shit! Fire! Fire!
Okay, Reyes, chill. Don't worry. I got your back. I got your back, Holmes. You can actually come over here, but there's, like, nothing. Like, it's a pretty significant area, but, no, there's a... Alright, Reyes, I get the point. So we're meant to feel a sense of urgency. Do you remember seeing these zip wires, guys? This is just the same as I was talking about on the other side when we were coming back from the cliffside bunker. There are zip wires, conveniently, that take you all the way from where you were earlier. Look, that's the bunker. And over there you can see... Oh, it's just so good. And look, these wires take you right back to the base. And it's always been there. Always. How cool is this? And then they retreat just as you come over. So there's not actually a shootout section here, though I feel like there should have been, given what happens in this cutscene when you walk over to Reyes.
Reyes, you're hurt. Here.
Thanks. Seriously, I thought that was it for me.
There's no sign of them.
What happened?
During the attack, Whitman took Sam and they disappeared.
He's taken her back to Matthias.
We should have listened. I should have listened.
So what's the next move?
The boat's fixed now. We should get help.
I bet they thought that too.
Look, you were right about Whitman,
You've
but...
seen the storms. They target any craft that comes near. There were scientists here during World War II, and they believed the storms were controlled by something in a ritual chamber near the monastery. Look, I don't have all the answers, but Sam being taken, I know it's linked. And if we try to leave here without understanding why, then we'll all die. Just like the pilots. Just like Roth.
Look. Whatever's happening here, Lara deserves a shot.
We can't go back to their stronghold. It'd be suicide.
They won't take her there. They'll take her to the ritual chamber. We can use this inlet to get closer. Look, I know you want to get home to your daughter. Believe me, I do. But the fight's not over yet. I'm not asking you to believe, Reyes. I'm asking you to trust.
Okay. Let's get this thing in the water. Whenever you're ready to go, come aboard.
So, what I find interesting there about that cutscene, as I was going to say, is like, all we did, I feel like there's going to be a shootout section here, because all we did was walk over and help her stand on her feet, and then yet Reyes thanked us for it and said, I thought I was a goner there, like, as if we'd saved her life somehow. Now, if there was a shootout sequence and we had saved them, then yeah, maybe that would have meant something. But no, they retreated because all they wanted was Sam. And, of course, Whitman shows his true colours. Like, we sort of knew it was coming, really, that Whitman was going to betray us. Remember, we left him, Sam was asleep, and Whitman was the one watching over her. Disgraceful. Waited for the Solari to come, and then under the guise of the fight, fled. And, of course, then there were three. Us, Jonah, and Reyes. Who would have thought it would have come down to these three characters? Really, really cool. And we are, of course, at the point of no return now. This is familiar in many games. We've got an open world. We can travel anywhere we want at the moment through fast travel camps. But should we board that boat, we can no longer do any of that. We like basically embark on the final sequence of the game and draw it to its conclusion. So if you're going for 100% run and you had missed stuff in earlier zones, this is your only opportunity now to go back, which is exactly what I'm doing. We missed one grave. I actually know exactly where it is, so do not worry, guys. As I said at the start of the video, it's over on this rock formation. We need to jump around here and then jump onto this, and voila. So it was in the general area that I thought it was going to be. And that's it. Check it out. Cairn Raider. Challenge complete. That leaves this zone as complete. So let's go over to our fast travel camp. We have a bunch of stuff for upgrades. I may grind off screen now because we're at the point of no return, just so that I can get some more salvage. There is plenty more to come. Don't get me wrong, like, so check it out. We've got the combat shotgun now, and we got another thing as well earlier. Like, there is still plenty more to come, don't get me wrong, but we are sort of finished with most of this stuff now, and I want to be sure that we do have enough salvage to max everything out. But let's have a quick look at what we've accomplished so far in this Let's Play. Coastal Forest, 100%. Still Coastal Forest. Mountain Temple, Village, Base Approach, Mountain Base, Base Exterior, Shantytown, Geothermal Caverns, Summit Forest, Shipwreck Beach, and the Research Base. It's really weird actually seeing that the Shantytown is there. Like, it wasn't too long ago, really, but it feels like it was ages ago, because there was such a huge section of the game between the Shantytown and the Geothermal Caverns, or at least the Thermal Caverns and the Summit Forest. So, yeah, excuse me, 100% complete, guys. Our save file won't read it just yet, though, because there are a few story documents and things for us to get, as well as upgrades to complete. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow, we will either be on the finale of this game, as we play for a long period of time through the final section, or maybe there'll be 2 videos remaining. Either way, we're going to get our answers as to what's going on with Himiko, the Sun Queen. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.